Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another pick a card reading here at Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with what do women secretly think of you but won't say. It's been long overdue to do this category, so we're going to go ahead and get into it today. If you are a returning subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for coming back. I'm truly honored to share this space and this time with you. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all human here and that this is a safe space for you to come as your most authentic self. That being said, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links necessary below in the description box, or you can send me an email for a private reading where I will get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio. Just a fun, cool, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I hope to see you there. Also, I think that's all of my updates today. I don't really have anything going on. Keep an eye out, though, because October will be a month of changes. I'm going to be making some changes here. I know I said I was going to promise some more Lenormand reads, so I'm going to be getting back into that. It has kind of been hectic because I've been getting ready to move. So I'm going to be traveling soon to a new location. And yeah, we're just gonna hope that all goes well. So, but that's coming up in October as well. And I feel like that's just a lot of people are going to be traveling in October. So anyways, with that being said, I think let's go ahead and get into your prayer, and then we will go ahead and get into your reading from there. Perfect. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this video. May they be reminded of their experience here. May they be reminded that we all experience very similar things and that our perspective is constantly changing. And it's through this perspective that we can bring ourselves into a very high vibrational experience, time, lifeline, zone, whatever it is you want to call it. That we can experience what it is to be happy and bountiful and abundant and free in this moment if we choose to. That positivity is not far from reach. That we can find things that make us happy inside, which will help us to change those feelings that maybe have been clinging on for a while. That yes, we know we have to go through the storms. That yes, we know that we have to endure sometimes the difficulties. But that when we find our inner peace within, we know that we're capable of handling those outside turbulences, the turmoil that may come at any given moment. That being in this journey doesn't mean to be without its troubles, its challenges, or its situations. It means to be able to face all of those things with a clear heart and a high vibrational mind, to where we will be able to navigate through the difficulties, knowing that we are supported, loved, and cared for, and knowing that we are strong enough to take on whatever it is that comes our way. As these words are spoken unto this space and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and get this set up over here. All right. Sure is hanging in there. Okay. Awesome. And today we are going to choose from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. These are my favorite. Let me go ahead and give these a shuffle. I know every Oracle deck is my favorite. These really are my favorite. I was kind of greedy with these for a long time and did not share them because that's how much I love these cards. I was like, no one gets to experience these cards but me. And then I realized that if I love them so much, it's only right that I get to share them with you as well. All right, source. So for pile number 1, what oracle card will help us better understand what women secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? Okay, thank you. For pile number 2, source, what oracle card will help us better understand what women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what oracle card will help us better understand what women secretly think of pile number 3 but will not say? One card, please, for pile number 3. Pile number 3, Source. Be open to your guidance, pile 3. Be open to your guidance. Ooh. All right, I'm going to give him a shuffle, see if that helps reset the energy. For pile number 3, Source, what oracle card will help us better understand what women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? Thank you. Yeah, the energy on that was a little rough. Little rough. That's okay. All right, let me get these set. Let's see, make sure they're on camera here. Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this rock for you to choose from. Pile number 2, we have this piece of seashell for you to choose from. Okay, and for pile number 3, we do have this rock for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this rock right here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what do women secretly think of you but won't say. First things first, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary below in the description box, where you can email me for a personal reading where we'll get you out further information. You may also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I hope to see you there. And also, I did not say this at the beginning, but I'll say it now. I've got your affirmation card, and it is, I am open to receiving all the good things that life has to offer. So take a screenshot, write this down somewhere where you can see it, remind yourself over the next couple of days of this, because yes, you are open to receiving all the good things that life has to offer. Awesome. So let me grab your dice, possibly. Okay. And we will go ahead and get into it. So Source, for pile number 1, what do women secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? Source, what can you tell us about this? What do women secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? Okay, so we have the South Node. Yes, the South Node, the first house, and Taurus. Interesting. So some women secretly think that you're repeating a pattern. Like that there's a little bit of selfishness here. It's interesting. This is a very interesting energy, okay? Now, one thing I do want to say before I really get into this is that we are looking at you through somebody else's rose-colored glasses of you version, their perspective on you. That does in no way, shape, or form make it true about who you are or your character, okay? This is judgments from another person, so always take it with a grain of salt. But there is an energy here that you might be selfish, or that you are only looking out for number 1 here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, let's be real. But that that's what you're stable in, is looking out for number one. Like, you are only looking out for your best interests and what's going on with you and what's happening with you, and you don't care about others. And they do feel like this is something that you're not meant to be doing, okay? Again, that does not make it true. It could just be that you're in a very self-care frame of mind, and it's not fitting in with their idea of who you should be, right? And that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. But these women are secretly thinking that you are all about your personal life, your independence, your individuality, and your first impression and your attitude do not match what they think of you either. Like, they think that it's a mask, okay? That's a very interesting thing here. But with Taurus, they do see that you are very true to this. You're persistent with this. You're very steady in this belief. Like, you are very, very stuck on this pattern. Stubborn, not trying to change it. Something that you're always looking at. That, yes, you are someone who's trustworthy, but you are focused more on yourself than you are on other people. That you are focused on your endurance, your tenacity, your drive, your reliability, your security, your safety. This is slow and steady going, right? But that you're stubborn about it because you're really looking to gain materialistic ideals out of this, right? And that is why it's like you're more indulgent about anything than you are really trying to make a name for yourself. Like, it's like, oh, I'm only trying to make a name for myself so that I can enjoy the finer things in life. They're not seeing it for what it really is, and that's, I'm trying to make a name for myself because I'm trying to be stable in life. But they see it as, oh, you're just trying to take advantage, and you're just trying to really be in this old karmic energy, right? Like, it's how they see it. It's not like this is your true self. They're seeing it as like a past idealized version of yourself that you're trying to fall in here, right? This is like you're trying to face fears, but you're not actually facing them because you're just relying. I keep feeling like you're relying on someone. Like, that's what they're saying. It's like you're relying on someone, or you're trusting someone else to get you there. And I don't feel like that's the truth. Like, I feel like you are just working really hard, and because they're not seeing the amount of work that you're putting in, they're only seeing a part of the picture, right? Like 10% as opposed to the 90% that you're actually putting into your day-to-day life. But again, we're looking at someone else's perspective of you. That does not make it the truth of you, nor where you are. Let's get some tarot on it. Source, can you tell us more about what do women think of pile number one but won't say? Oh, the cards are acting weird. Yeah, it's like a weird energy. Like, they like you, they like being around you, but they feel like you're self-centered. Like, so it's kind of it's like an opposing energy, right? It just doesn't make sense. What do women think of pile number one but won't say? So you may find it hard to make friends with women, or maybe you don't have very many women in your life, and it's just because I feel like you're a very bright star, and that makes them feel very self-aware and self-conscious of where they're at, and so it's like a projection onto you. But we'll find out more. Do women think of pile number one but won't say? Thank you, Source. Yeah, they really feel like you're in this process of like trying to get money, but you're not actually healed when it comes to money or like your stability. What do women think of pile number one but won't say? Thank you, Source. What do women think of pile number one but won't say? You know, sometimes women can be very catty too. Like, it's just jealousy and unease when it comes to them and their own story and wanting to be where they're not, you know. I think that's just something that a lot of women have to go through. Especially because we've been so... we've been put into a lot of weird boxes by society. Not just men, it's by other women too. It's just society as a whole. And so that's what it feels like. Like, maybe you're breaking outside of societal norms here, and that's what it is. It's like you're not selfish. You're very focused on your self-improvement, your personal development. And through that, they're like, oh, they're seeing it in a much different way than what I'm seeing it in, right? Because with South Node here, we have like karmic energy. Yeah. Trying to build something emotionally with you, feeling, yeah, look at this. Oh, okay, so family is involved here. Yeah, feeling like you're manipulating some sort of family. Like, look, we have the King of Swords here, not realizing that you're telling the truth, not realizing that you're the one that's seeing this from a truthful place. So I do feel like there's like family that's involved here. Yeah, they're not seeing, they're just not seeing how strong you are. There's this sense of, oh, they're manipulating an emotional aspect of family, or like you're trying to manipulate someone that they consider to be family. Like play the emotional card on them. Somebody that's watching you, yeah. Oh, okay. It's like, these cards, really? What is going on here? Yeah, they feel like you're conceited. Oh my gosh, these people. Sometimes with people, like, wow. Your business is your business, and that's how it should be, but no, they gotta make everybody's business their business, and that's how life is, right? Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. They feel like you're conceited, that you're not seeing the truth of a situation, right? They feel like you're not overcoming something that could potentially be seen as a terrible red flag, that you're either, like, I keep coming back to this, being taken advantage of or taking advantage of somebody. Like, they feel like you're easily able to take advantage of others because you're able to connect with others. Like, covert narcissism is coming into play here, okay? If you're not sure what that is, that's fine. It's just, it's like you're very empathetic when it comes to it, but then they also feel like you use your empathy to pull the wool over others' eyes. And it's interesting because Source is saying here, like, they're not seeing clearly what's actually happening in this situation, right? That you've already overcome a lot of those hardships in your life, and that you're working on your mental aspect right now. You're very clearly looking at that. But when it comes to them, what they're thinking is that, oh, they're really stuck in this conceited place. They don't want anybody to be doing better than them. Like, they're just trying to get one up. They're trying to use people to their advantage. But you're not. Like, it's so interesting. What a weird energy. What a weird, weird energy here. And there's this like here you have this completion, like you're bringing something to a close, right? But they see it as perspective. Like, you have 3 here and 3 here, right? 21 is 3 and 3, and then you have 9 in the middle. So you have 3993, so mirroring numbers, right? 3993, that's a mirroring number. You may see those a lot. That might be those moments where it's like, just really pay attention to how you're feeling about a situation. But I do feel like there's another party here. And the extra party could be family with the 8 of Cups coming out here. It could be family playing in and trying to paint a story of what's not really there to women in your life. And it's getting around. It feels like it's gossip. It feels like it's going around. It's getting around to others. And they're all believing what's being said, which is on them, right? Like, that's pretty indicative of their character if they're not willing to just look at the situation. But they do feel like you're a very empathetic person. They feel like you're very kind and generous and loving. But they feel like you've learned to use this to your advantage. That you're not actually sincere. Which is, that's why I'm saying it's a very opposing energy here. Right? Especially anytime the world comes out in the reverse. Like, the top energy we're working with is someone that's self-centered, that's conceited, that is very egotistical. And so at the core here, what they're secretly thinking, but they're not going to tell you, is that, yeah, you're empathetic, but you're actually really conceited, and you're using your empathy to cover up your conceitedness. It's like, I feel like they're just taking something for face value, right? Or, again, through the grapevine. You ever play that phone game or the telephone game, like where you're telling people a secret and you say there's like 5 people in the line, and you whisper it into the first person's ear, and then they have to whisper it into the next person's ear, and it gets all the way to the end, and the last person has to say out loud what it was that you supposedly said. And by the time it gets to the 5th person, unless people are really paying attention to what you say and taking the time to relay that message, 9 times out of 10, what's said it's nothing near what's the truth, what you actually said, right? And that's what this feels like, a game of telephone. It sounds like everybody's getting a muddled version of who you are through somebody's gossip. and not who you really are. But Source is pointing out here with the Hermit and the Nine of Swords that this is something that you've thought about a lot. This is actually something that has deterred you from making a motion in the future to your dream and to helping to connect with people. And this is something that you're actually in the process of dealing with, is your mind state in regards to how you may appear to others. So you're very aware of how you may appear to others, but I feel like it's that you're actually observing from your psychic energy here, and you're actually feeling through that empathetic energy what others are feeling of you. And you realize it's like, I feel like you're the one that's questioning it. Am I really like that? Like, do I really show up like that? Like, I don't feel like I show up like that. But, you know, it's like because you're actually in the process of growing, and you're willing to ask those difficult questions of yourself. Well, it's like others, these women here, are basically saying, oh, it's you, pile one. You're the problem, pile one. You're the one. And they're not willing to ask those questions of self. So we do see that this is a projection here. But Source pointing out that you are actually a very strong individual, and you're doing a lot of soul seeking here. Let's get some clarifiers here, Source, for this reading. Okay, thank you. What else can you tell us about this, Source? What else can you tell us about this? Okay, thank you. All right, on the bottom of the deck here, yeah, we have the Six of Cups also being represented by the Lovers. Okay, so this could be judgment in regards to your relationship or lack thereof, right? That's why they're saying you're conceited. So if you're single, they're like, oh, well, they're never going to get somebody because they're never going to be open-minded enough to explore. Or maybe you're very much in this hermit mode and you're alone a lot and you like solitude because you're trying to save your energy for when it matters. And they're like, oh, they're just such a hermit that they're never going to find love. They're never going to go out and find anybody in their life. Look, we have the Hermit again here with the Nine of Diamonds. So it's like this energy. It's like they're not realizing that your hermit mode is what's bringing you some sort of success. Okay, that's not what they're realizing. They're just looking at it as, oh, they're just a loner. They're just quiet all the time. Like, they're just taking advantage of a situation, and they're never going to have, you know, what it is that you're supposed to have in this world. But what is that really? Except somebody's idea of what that is. Yeah, we have the Four of Diamonds here on the outside looking in. Look at this image. I love this depiction here. I had no idea I was going to use these until I was like, oh, this is the deck I have to use, right? Like, so it's interesting that this would come through, and it's like Source pointing out they're on the outside looking in, right? They don't see what is really going on. They're just seeing a little bit. There's no way they can see the whole house when they're just looking in one window, right? They can't see everything. They're only seeing what they can see through that keyhole, that porthole, that whatever the window it is that they're looking through, right? So they're on the outside looking in. They're not seeing the truth of the situation, but they do feel like your focus is very materialistic. Like you're only in it for the money. That you've had a lot of bad luck because you're only seeking to have success. You're only seeking to build financial success here. And they feel like it's like something they're thinking about. It's like, oh, well, they never get financial success because they don't see what truly matters. And what truly matters, what they're trying to convince you or others of, is that, oh, what truly matters is building relationships. It doesn't matter if they're toxic people. But instead of manipulating people, they need to be building a stronger foundation with their family. But maybe you have a very toxic family that you're just trying to keep at arm's length until you can move on, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes people don't see it that way. They see it as, oh, your blood. It should be, blood is thicker than water. But if you've been on my channel any amount of time, you know I talk about this. There's a lot of times when family doesn't treat you like blood is thicker than water, and sometimes water is thicker than blood, you know? And so that's what it feels like here. They're secretly thinking that you're taking advantage of a family situation that may be very toxic for you, that you're trying either to get money from them, or you're trying to gain some sense of stability from them, or something like that. And that's why nothing has worked out for you, because you're not being sincere. But Source is pointing out here that you're in a period of being put in solitude even if this is you having to stay with family or be surrounded by family at this time, you're being put into solitude in order to find freedom from the mental chaos that has been caused by the family situations that have happened in your life. Okay? Yeah. This is interesting because this kept coming out when I was shuffling the big deck too, is Temperance. This is Temperance with the Two of Hearts, or therefore the Two of Cups. So this is it. Like, they're just like, oh, well, they're not going to find love. Like, I really feel like the biggest thing here is that you're not going to find love, because that's what's being pointed out here. That you're always going to be stuck with family, that you're always going to be in this situation because you're trying to manipulate family to get out of falling in love or to be in a loving situation. And it's like, I feel like you probably want love more than anything else. Like, but you want a stable love. You don't want a repeat of your family over again, right? So you're choosing a destination that works for you. Instead of lust and temptation, you're choosing to go the honorable route here. And it's something that they don't see, because these are women who choose the lust and temptation. Like, they settle just for the sake of settling so that they can have the label, have the title, have the appearance. Okay, and that's what they're secretly thinking here, is that you're not ever going to have that. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. But what they're saying is that you're always going to forever be alone, because that you are either A, taking advantage of family, or you're just trying to stay in solitude and away from family so that you don't have to find love. And here with the Six of Hearts also depicting the lover, we have this energy of coming through. It's like, no, that's not the case at all. You're really truly just trying to bide time to make sure that when you do make a choice in love, that you're choosing the right love for you instead of a toxic love, which is what it feels like you've gone through before. I don't feel like this person or these people are directly in your energy. What I feel like is that these are women who are connected to somebody that you consider family or have considered family in the past. And this is why they're coming through in this way. Okay, and this is just a message to source. Like, this is like a confirmation for your intuition, saying, yes, you've intuitively and empathetically picked up on their energy. But not to worry about that, because you're not the one that's manipulating a situation. I brought you into a time of peace with the Hermit card here. Yeah, look, so that I could help you find stability and overcome this stigma that you've had surrounding family situations, right? Building a family, having love or toxic relationships, whatever it is. So that's what's going on with this energy here. Let's get some oracles out on it here. Could please have some oracles here for pile number 1 and explain the situation a little bit deeper? Yeah. Look, we have South Node destined to release. This flipped out of the deck. We have South Node energy up here. So again, they're saying that you're in this old energy, and Source is saying, I put you in a time, basically a timeout. You're in a timeout, pile 1, not in a bad way. Okay, like, you're just in a timeout from life and what life has been doing and creating around you, so that you can release this Hermit energy here, right? You could have a South Node in Virgo or also in Sagittarius. That is coming through pretty strongly here. Okay, let's get one more of the astrological cards here. Source, may I please have another one of these? Thank you. Yeah, we have Aquarius energy, originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. So they're saying, Source is pointing out that you are looking towards the future, and it's because of your originality and your not playing by the rules that makes you stand out. And that's why it's like, instead of asking you what it is that you're doing, they're judging you based on what they're seeing. Okay, which again is not the truth of the situation. It's just them trying to fill in the gaps that they don't understand. And the only way to fill in the gaps with what they don't understand is to put prior situations that they've experienced in those gaps, saying, oh, well, I was taken advantage of, or maybe they took advantage of a situation. And so they're trying to fill in those gaps that are missing with the information that they've only had through experience, not what they know to be true. Okay. Look, the sun, self-expression, embodied truth. So you're in this place of expressing your truth, and they don't realize or recognize that you're expressing your truth. Right? This is a group of women that don't recognize that. If it's not because they're close to family, it's just because they're going based on family hurts and wounds. That's why they're judging you this way, okay? Yeah, look, we have intuition coming out. I love this confirmation. Wasn't I saying that? Like, Source saying, you know, don't question this. This is a confirmation of your intuition. Some kind of energy that you've been feeling. Oh, they're judging me. They're judging me. They think that I need to be with somebody. Like, I feel like people are just telling me, oh, I need to have a boyfriend. I need to have a girlfriend. I need to get married. But I'm not ready for that because I want it to be a healthy kind of love. And it might not even be a marriage. It might not be what everybody's saying it needs to be. And yeah, your intuition is on point when it comes to this. Now this flipped over, look, we have perspective. Yeah, they're seeing it from their perspective. They're not seeing your perspective. They're trying to fill in the blanks with their hurt, their experiences, right? Their shadow situations are the only thing that can fill in the gaps here because they've not experienced life in the light. And so it's just a hard situation to go into thinking like, oh my gosh, like, why is pile one so different? Why are they doing this? Why are they, instead of saying, hey, pile one, tell me a little bit about yourself. Or even if they did say that, like, maybe you already knew this person was just a lower vibration and you're like, I'm just going to be really like blasé and, you know, kind of vague about what I'm saying. And so you did. And because you were so vague, they in turn still tried to fill in the gaps rather than just taking it at what you told them. But you're very harmonious energy right now. You're very much on your path of purpose. Like you're doing what makes you happy, right? Brings you happiness within. So don't worry about what others are saying. It doesn't really matter, but it's difficult. We do these readings, right? Because we want to know. Of course we want to know. Look, we had the seahorse spirit jump out. It says watch and wait. So you're going to be made into a testimony is what Source is saying here. Like, don't trip, chocolate chips. Source has got your back, okay? You're going to be made into a testimony. Let's get one more. Yeah. Look, I cannot make this up. We have 53, which is 8, and we have 62, which is 8 again. We have turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race, okay? This is all about taking your time, right? Just because they're not seeing it, just because it's building slowly, just because they don't understand where you're headed, that does not mean that you're doing anything wrong. We have number 16 on the bottom with Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Tours. This is also giving me that trickster energy, like they're trying to trick you into like getting off your path, and you're not, because you took a leap of faith here with Grasshopper Spirit. You're going to get where you're meant to go. All right, let's get an angel message, and then we'll check out. Oh, thanks. That was fast. Whoa! Says schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. Yeah, so you're in a place of learning and growing, right? So of course not everybody's going to understand that because a lot of people just stay stagnant with their life. We have Archangel Gabriel on the bottom. It says you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. Yes, please don't let these women saying or thinking what it is that they're thinking hold you back from doing what it is that you're doing, or even feeling that, right? If you're empathetically and picking up on that, like your intuition's tuned into that, remember that's just a navigational system for you to say, okay, steer clear. Do not enter. You can say access denied. Okay, let's see what this is. Look, we have 11. So 1 is a very powerful number for you. You may see 11, 111. You may see 11111. Like 1 is always popping up plus your pile number 1. So 1111 is a very highly spiritual number. Just Source saying you're going through a spiritual awakening now. You're really gaining control of your emotions, but it's like more or less you're letting your intuition guide your heart here. This is Deer with power. You're coming into a place that's very powerful for you on your journey. All right, we're going to check out your oracle card. I'm going to read this from the book. We'll see what we've got here. Come to life. Look, you're painting yourself into life here. This is why they don't understand. You've been living, what is it, like Pleasantville? Is that show, that movie where it's like they're all in black and white and then suddenly color starts popping up everywhere and everyone is freaking out. They're like, what is that? But it's like they can't help but be drawn to it, but they're at the same time so scared by it. Like, that's what this is. It's like you're bringing color back to life, right? You're painting yourself. You're creating yourself. Okay, and it's been going through a lot. Like, you've had to learn how to slow the monkey mind, to listen to the communication, to embrace creativity while letting go of temptation, to allow the transformation to happen. Okay, and to say yes to yourself and no to everyone else. You're the only one that's doing this. No one else is doing this, you see? And so that's what's so scary, because you don't look the same as everyone else. Your color in a world of black and white, right? Of course that's scary. If you've never seen that movie, definitely check that out. There might be more messages in the movie for you, or just a reminder of something for you. So we have come to life. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. You are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. It might have a lot to say, and at times it seems very convincing, but it is not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious sacred heart and is living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep, sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have is let me try that again. The only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling. It might bring joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. It could bring all of these and more. Feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. You might need to paint, write, enact rituals, sing, or dance your feelings to help the energy flow. Don't hold back. Create the space for you to do it. In this process, you are uncovering artistry of the universal creator. You are honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint, and that includes flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express. You may want to analyze, or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are getting in touch with feeling, learning how to access your feelings allows you to learn how to access your intuition, creative inspiration, and genuine internal guidance. What was I saying? Navigation system. Oh, I love all these confirmations for this card. These aspects flow from the same place and are often couched with your feelings in the form of emotions as well as physical sensations. Okay, so you're bringing yourself to life here. Like, that's what you're doing. And so it's like they don't understand, right? It's like all that fear and anger and upset energy that you might be sparking in another person is because they just plainly don't understand your journey. But you are letting go. You're in the process of releasing the South Node, and that's something that's uncomfortable. And it means that there's going to be a lot of insecurities that are brought to the surface that you have to work through. And so you're in the process of doing that, and you're doing an amazing job. Okay, if you feel like this is your reading, leave a little turtle spirit down below and say, I slowly and steadily release the South Node energy, or I release old energies. Leave me a thumbs up. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this shell right here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what do women secretly think of me but won't say. First and foremost, keep in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, you can follow me on over to my podcast, which is just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I hope to see you there. And you can also email me for a personal reading, where I will get you out some more information from there. First and foremost, though, before we get into this, I do want to mention that we are connecting with someone else's perspective on what you're doing or where you're at in your life. This is their rose-colored glasses of you. That does not make it the truth of who you are. So whatever comes through, take it with a grain of salt. We always just do these for fun, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this reading and find out, what do women secretly think of pile number 2, Source? What do women secretly think of pile number 2? What can you tell us about what women secretly think of pile number 2? Oh, and let me, before we see, your affirmation is, I am open to receiving all the good things that life has to offer. Oh, you guys know what your affirmation is. Well, let's see what we got coming out in the dice. We have Taurus energy, the 12th house, and South Node. Yeah, South Node again. Let's see. Yeah, South Node's coming out and Taurus energy coming out a lot already this week. So the 12th house, Taurus energy, this definitely has a different feel to it than pile 1, which is good. Pile 1 was a little bit all over the place, to be honest with you. Okay, so how do women think of you but won't secretly think of you but won't say, is that they do think that you are someone who's very spiritual. They feel like you're very intuitive, you're very connected, you have psychic gifts, or you have gifts that you use regularly. They do feel like you are someone who's letting go of the past. Like you've been through a lot and you're letting go of the past, right? You're trying to heal karmic energies. You're trying to let go of things, but they do feel like you have secrets. They feel like you have secrets that you're not willing to share with anybody. And you know what? If you do, who cares? It's not, your business isn't everybody's business. And sometimes people don't feel that way. They feel like, oh, it's my right to know. But, you know, they do feel like you do hold secrets here that you also don't talk about, like everything that you think about. Like you don't talk about it. You keep things under wrap. They also feel like you have a lot of enemies, like a lot of people going against you. They could even be some of your enemies, right? So we're just connecting with a lot of energies here. This doesn't feel like people that you actually know, just people that you run into on a general basis. So it does feel like sometimes they're excited to see you and other times they're just like really triggered by your energy. But they do see you as someone who is healing, and that healing energy is not always taken very positively, right? But that you're persistent, you're steady, you're someone that's very trustworthy, that you're patient. I think the patience is what's coming out more than anything. Like it just feels like you're very calm, cool, and collected. And they secretly think that you have a very good drive, that you're reliable, that you are someone who is slow and steady. You go with the flow, that you really like beautiful things, and that you're fashionable. They don't feel like you hold grudges, but with the South Node energy coming through here, they do feel like that something that you've done till now has been stuck in a very karmic energy, and you're in the process of letting that go. It does feel like you're letting go of life baggage. You may have talked about your past, like that might be something that you use to help heal others, is your past, what it is that you've been through. So maybe you've had some really rough relationships or rough family situationships or life circumstances in general. And so you may talk about those sometimes, and it's like that actually helps to heal a lot of people. And so women do see that, and they see that that's what's brought you into this higher vibrational energy. But it does feel like there are a lot of women who are jealous because it's like, oh, well, how did they get over that? Like, how are they so blessed with an open, wide perspective? And I feel like that's just something that you've earned along the way. But the one thing that they secretly are thinking that they really don't want to tell you about is that they feel like you're holding a lot of secrets away from everybody. I don't know why it would matter if you're holding secrets, especially if they don't know you like that. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Your life is your life. And it's yours to share with how you know, who you want to share it with. So maybe when you are sharing your life experiences, they're thinking that you're holding secrets. Like you're not telling them how you overcame the hardships, even though I feel like you're probably an open book when it comes to that. Like You just feel very calm and collected, and very willing to share. Like if they had asked you any question, like I feel like you would probably answer it. Like you're not somebody that's going to be like, oh, that's none of your business. Or you would answer it in a way that would satisfy the question, even if it wasn't giving away all your energy in that, or giving away everything in regards to that, you know? So Source, how do women secretly view pile number 2 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say, Source? Okay, thank you. What do women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Yeah. That you make a lot of difficult decisions too. Like you make decisions on the fly, like that would take most people a long time to make. What do women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Okay, thank you. What do women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Thank you. What do women secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say, Source? Thank you. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, yeah, we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, that like you're kind of cold and off-putting at times. Like it's not that you're not a nice person, just that you're very cold when it comes to the things about you personally. Like you're someone that's not going to share. You're not very emotional when it comes to your journey, or you don't share your emotions with others. So, and they think that you give out what you get back, but that you don't share how you feel about a lot of things. So it's like if somebody is very open with you about their emotions and how they're feeling on the journey, like you absolutely will give them advice. You'll be there helping them through it. Like you definitely give back to them. But it's like you are not someone who's just going to willy-nilly reciprocate your emotions in a situation like that, because if somebody doesn't ask you how you're feeling or really truly show that they care, you know, and that's on varying levels. Sometimes people ask you how you're feeling and they don't really care to know what it is that you're truly feeling. Or you'll ask somebody, how are you today? And that how are you is grounds for them to go into their whole life story. Right? Instead of just like, oh, I'm good, or it's a good day, or just, you know, something clever along those lines. But it's like you don't ever give to people on their expectations, if that makes sense. It's like they expect you to return, oh, this is what I went through, this is what I've gone through. It's like you share very specific points of your past, and you're not necessarily sharing the emotion that's attached with that. Rather, this is the experience that I went through and I've healed from that. So this too, you'll be able to heal from. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's like you're very, very direct in a way, but it doesn't make you less nice. But that's what women are secretly thinking about you, that you're not very nurturing when it comes to sharing. So we have the 7 of Cups reversed. What else do we have here? Yeah, the 3 of Swords reversed. This is very interesting. And the Devil reversed, yeah. Okay, I see what they're trying to say here. They feel like that's why you have a lot of hidden enemies, is because that you're out to get information from everyone. And it's not that you would use it against them, but that might be a fear that they have, that you're going to use it against them. Like you're going to gossip about them, or you're going to share it. Like you don't have any boundaries when it comes to the information that you're receiving, that you use it against people. Or if you don't use it against people, that maybe they feel like you're using other people's experiences as your own, and that's why you're not willing to share your emotions with them, because there's this underlying belief that you don't have any emotional attachment to that situation. And so they're secretly thinking that while you're very intuitive, you're psychic and all these things, it's like more or less like you use that in a way to get others to open up to you, so that you can be like, oh yeah, well, I've gone through this, when in reality, they're thinking that that situation that you've gone through might be somebody else's experience and not your own. Personally, I feel like you just have learned not to share your emotions, because you've been shown time and time again that a lot of people just don't actually care how you feel or what's going on internally. And so you've learned how to take care of yourself in a very profound way, and to take care of yourself in a very loving way. And that's something you've had to overcome along this journey. And it's like they don't see it that way because they only see things at face value. And that's something that they're not, you know, they don't really understand that, because it's like, oh, well, I shared my emotions with pile 2. Why can't they just share their emotions with me? Well, it's not that you don't want to. It's just, will they actually care? I feel like that's the question that comes up. Will they actually care? And so you might test the waters and give them a little bit, and they show that they don't care. And they're not realizing that you're testing them, and more or less they're just seeing it, oh, well, they're just very secretive. They must have some things that they're dealing with. They might think that you're going through some sort of addiction, or you're healing from some sort of addiction. Especially with the devil in the 12th house here, the devil in reverse with the 12th house, we're talking about some sort of addiction. So they do secretly think that maybe you're healing from some sort of addiction. That could be a very rough emotional past, or like failed relationships. But they do secretly think that you're someone that will use others' situations to your advantage. This is a very interesting energy. It's like, wasn't like pile 1, but this does feel a little bit like pile 1. So there might be some messages for you in pile 1 as well. This does feel like women outside of you. This doesn't feel like somebody that you actually know, or people that you actually know. Like, this just feels like people that you run into on a, like you might run into at the store, or you run into in life in general. And because it's like, this feels like very much like a projection. Like, you've not had boundaries in the past, so you didn't set those boundaries. And they secretly think that that's what set you back in life, or that's why you chose to go into some sort of addiction. Maybe it's your appearance or something like that gives you some sort of, I mean, I don't understand how that could be. But you know how sometimes you'll dress a certain way and people just assume, oh, you must be like this or like that, you know? And that's... Let's get some clarifiers on it, Source. Paint a clearer picture for me and for pile 2, please. Yeah, the Empress with the Queen of Cups again. Yeah, it's like you're almost like disconnected from people on a very emotional level. You could be Aquarius, or you could be an air sign. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Or have that in your Venus, right? You could have that in your Venus. And, you know, it's like with Libra, if you have Libra in your Venus, like Libras love to love, but also Libras will disconnect if they've been hurt too many times in the past. And so it's like, that's what they think, look, okay, look at this conversation, right? They're having this conversation. What was I saying? It's almost like they feel like you take that conversation and that becomes your shared experience, that you didn't actually experience what you've experienced. Like, why would anybody do that? Like, I guess there's people out there that do that, sure. But it just seems like so much time and energy to do something like that. You may have actually heard people say, like, you didn't experience that. And you're like, I don't know you. Like, why would you tell me something like that? Like, and they're over there like, that just seems so surreal. And you're like, that's how you should know it's a real experience, because nobody can just make this stuff up. Right? But that's what it feels like. It feels like when it comes to loving and caring about giving that to others, through sharing your own emotional experience, like you're very reserved is what it feels like here. But people are very open and passionate in talking to you, and that's why I feel like somebody shared a story that they were scared to share, and they couldn't help but share it to you. And so there's this belief, or there's a lot of people who do that. They share stories with you that they're scared to share with anybody, but for some reason pile 2 comes around. Let's share it with pile 2. And then they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to use my experience as their experience, because you might have said like, oh, I went through this, this, and this, and I healed from it, and I believe you can heal from this too. Like, you're just nothing but encouraging. But yeah, it's like they're afraid that you build based on the experiences you learn from others. What a weird energy. Like, just a weird energy overall. But look, you have the Queen of Cups coming out on you. It's almost like using your intuition to manipulate people. And it works for you. It's something that you're willing to build on. Yeah, you don't see clearly. You don't see clearly. And this is crazy. Like, I cleansed these cards before we started on this. And this, it feels, it's not the same message as pile 1, but it does feel there's a lot of similarities between the two. it just could be like a collective interest or a collective situation going on where you're just dealing with a lot of women who are very jealous, who don't have the abilities that you have, who are seeing you get further on your abilities. Like we have the devil coming out again. Yeah, they're like obsessed with you. Like they're obsessed with the fact that maybe you're not seeing things clearly when it comes to your job or when it comes to life or how you work things into play. Like they're just thinking that you're not sincere, and that's what it is. And like you're just keeping secrets from people. Like comes back to that, keeping secrets from everybody. And I don't feel like that's the truth. I just feel like you just don't share your emotions like that. Like how they share their emotions, that's not how you're going to share your emotions, because it's like, again, if they prove that they don't really care, what's the point? You know, and that sounds ruthless, but at the same time, is it really? Because it's like, you ever try to share your emotions with somebody, and the minute you start talking about how you actually felt or what you personally experienced, they just check out. Like they might pick up their phone and start checking their phone, or they just kind of like zone out. And then you'll be talking for a few minutes and they'll come back and they'll be like, I'm sorry, what did you say? Or they'll start talking to somebody else, or they'll start looking around, or they'll just do everything to make it seem like they're not paying attention, because they aren't. Right? And that's what it could be, that they're afraid that you were so present listening to their emotions and you were able to pick up on things intuitively and psychically. And that scared them because they just didn't understand, like, whoa, how is pile 2 able to do this? But they don't share anything about themselves. Or they don't share very much about themselves, very much emotion about themselves. We have ambition, realism, and methodical steps here with Capricorn energy. We did have the devil come out twice. So Capricorn energy could be very prevalent in your chart. You know, Capricorns are seen as the pessimist of the zodiac. Honestly, they're just kind of very like trying to be so logical about everything that they can be seen as negative, right? And it's not that they're necessarily negative, it's just they're trying to make sense of everything. You also have divine masculine energy with Capricorn, or the father of the zodiac, right? So trying to be that constantly masculine energy takes you away from the feminine, which is the Queen of Cups and the Empress energy, right? So that's, you could just be used to being in the masculine energy because that's what you've done your whole life. And so the people who actually get to experience the depth of your feminine energy are very few and far in between. Whether you're a man or a woman, that doesn't matter. Whatever you identify with, that doesn't matter. It's just the energy that you exude, right? You could just be very much in that go, go, go. I'm going to solve it, find a solution for you, rather than being in the talk in this nurturing stage. And the solutions have always seemingly worked for you along the way too. It works for others, obviously. Yeah, Yang. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. We have Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius energy with proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. And Yang energy is connected to the masculine, the sun. Right. So, yeah, you could just very well be in your masculine energy. And that's, people just don't understand because they think that they're coming from their feminine, but what they're coming from is the wounded, you know, the wounded warrior, the wounded feminine. We have the sextile in the bottom here, combination of tension and flow, potential in a rewarding situation. Exactly. So that's the tension there. It's like you're flowing with the situation, but they're having the tension. But overall, you're showing up as your true self, your authentic self, and you reward them with solutions. And it's like they're secretly thinking that you're taking advantage of them somehow, some way, shape, or form. But then how would you provide them with a solution that actually worked? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. So we do have companionship, dog. Yeah, it's just that sense that you're just a friend. You're somebody that's very comfortable. Like, people get very comfortable around you. Women get very comfortable around you. They're very open with you. They share a lot of things about themselves with you, and then they feel exposed. Like, that's the problem, is like after they share with you, they just feel so exposed. We have vulnerability on the bottom. Exactly. They're very open and vulnerable with you. And they just feel like they don't get anything from you. You know, it's like, oh, well, pile 2 doesn't really give me anything. And it's like, you're not required to. I'm pretty sure that's not part of the deal. You know, it's like, you're not required to say anything. And it's like, also, the people who do get something from you, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I love that confirmation. Did you see how that card just flipped into screen? I mean, just kind of danced its way into the screen, right? So we have number 64 with wasp spirits. Sometimes life stings. Yeah, that's it. It's like, this hurts. I feel like this, me telling you this is just kind of like, but that's not who I am. And it's like, yeah, I understand that that's not who you are. I feel like you're actually a very kind person. You're very compassionate and loving, and that you do feel things very, very deeply. I do feel that. It's just that what women are secretly thinking is that somehow maybe you have like put a spell on them, or you took advantage of them in some way, and they just don't understand, how could I be so open and vulnerable with pile 2 and they don't give me anything, you know? Well, that's, they chose to talk, not you. You didn't make them do anything. So we have number 12 here with Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Yeah, you do things very differently and very uniquely from everyone else. And it's just like, that's it. You know, like when they share their feelings, it's almost like these women are sharing their feelings with anyone who will listen. And usually when they share their feelings with other people, like they share something exactly like what they've shared, right? And that's why it's so different, because when it comes to you, it's like you're listening to the problem, you absorb the problem, you give a solution, and it's like you give a solution based on your experience, not on your emotions. It's more on your experience than anything else, which is very masculine by nature, right? And it's like they just don't know how to take it, because it's like, wait, what? And it's like, that's because they probably are still trying to heal their own feminine energy and their own masculine energy. So we have Ariel on the bottom. It says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, meditation. Yeah, you're very psychic. Very psychic. So you could be using your gifts to gain clarity on situations. And that's why, so it's like when I'm saying, like, you're giving solutions that are far beyond this world, because they're not of this world. You see what I'm saying? And that's scary. Like, that scares a lot of people when you give a solution and it actually makes sense and it works. And they're like, I've talked to so many people about this, and they've never ever came up with a solution, and it just came to you naturally. Yeah, we have Orca with song lines 30. Healing, this is all about healing generational curses. So that's what you help others heal. You help others heal things that they've experienced for lifetimes, for generations. It's something that's so deeply rooted within them, and that's why they feel so exposed, because when you're helping them heal this, you're helping them connect with the inner child, and the more you connect with the inner child, the more innocent and vulnerable you feel, right? And so that's why they feel so taken advantage of, almost in a way. That's what they're secretly thinking. Unfoldment with lotus flower, but you're blossoming. You're changing your life, okay? Your life is unfolding the way it needs to. You're doing exactly what you've been meant to do this whole time, okay? Like we have number 15 with cow spirit. The miracles are endless. Yeah, you're absolutely connected to source. Okay, you're seeing things from a very loving perspective, but just because you don't give the way somebody expects you to give doesn't make you a bad person. Like, that doesn't make you anything. That makes you you and unique, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to give what people expect us to give. That's not how life works. We're not supposed to show up the way people expect us to show up. And the same goes with us. We're not supposed to expect people to do anything for us, to show up a certain way for us. We're just supposed to sit back and observe and watch the miracles of life unfold as they are. And so you're like a walking miracle by helping people heal these wounds that they didn't even know that they might have had. And then suddenly they feel so exposed, and they're like, whoa, hold on. There's something up here. Like, pile 2 is keeping secrets from us. Like, that's why they feel like maybe you're using their experiences to help heal others, and that feels like they're exposed. But that's what they're used to, is being betrayed. And I don't feel like you betray people. It's more or less you're just that channel. It's like they're giving you their story, their life experience, and then source is saying, okay, this is the solution that they need, and you channel that to them. So we have Opal. Your children on earth and heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. What an interesting card to come out. So again, that idea of the inner child is coming through, your children on earth and in heaven. So maybe you are very connected to children. Maybe you help heal children. Maybe you've helped connect people with passed away children. Like, you know, if somebody had a miscarriage or something like that, you might help them connect with that. Or you might help them ground in the idea of it's not something against you. It's just something that has happened, and you're going to be stronger because of it. Like, you're helping them open up to a deeper truth within them, right? We have a lot of purple coming in here, a lot of that energy of connecting with source. And it's like, sometimes life hurts. Sometimes it's not how we want it to be, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth living, right? And so it feels like that's what you're doing, is you're helping women really connect with this. So you could be helping them with children in school. You could be helping them with children by giving birth to children. You could also be like some sort of psychologist for children, some sort of therapy. You could also be somebody that walks around and just runs into a lot of women who have had miscarriages, and you help them heal from that deep, deep wound. And that's why they feel so vulnerable and scared. And like, how is it that pile 2 understands this? And it's like, you're like a walking channel for source. So let's check out your oracle card. I'm going to read this from the book. Like, we have number 42, the world wants to be written. Look at your third eye here in the activation and the butterfly over your throat chakra. Like, you're meant to transform others just by your speech, right? Like, it's very powerful. It's interesting because we got number 43 in pile 1 too. So again, you're not required to go and watch pile 1 or anything. You could be here from pile 1, and that's awesome. Thank you for giving me that much of your time. But just know that there may be messages for some of you in pile 1 as well. But let's go ahead and read this out of the book. It says, you might have been taught that creativity is something you had to work hard to access, or that finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet what you are is within you and wants to come out at every available opportunity. You don't have to struggle so much. It is more about allowing space for it to manifest and let the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something. It is more about letting go of the idea that you need to search for your path in the first place. You see, the process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way and not making something happen. As for being yourself, that is the foundation from which your true path will reveal itself. Being yourself becomes easier when you give yourself permission to love, honor, and accept yourself in all circumstances, especially the ones where you might be more tempted to reject and judge. Give the sacred rebel within the opportunity to decide your values, irrespective of whether they meet with general social acceptance. This oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you. That is why you want to do it. If you experience controlling or manipulative forces as you were growing up, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at the time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt and get through the trials of childhood. Again, this idea of healing the inner child coming through. When you're finished navigating childhood and started to let go of who you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That is simply because your true and natural self was covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than you are in order to win, love, or be acceptable. However, that natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It still is there within you. Now it is just about chipping away at the walls of shame, perhaps with a defiant, who the hell cares? I am here and I'm going to love myself anyway. This allows you to risk bearing the feelings of shame that arises within you as you release old emotional wounds and break away from any restraints to unconditional self-love. The sacred rebel within can empower you to love yourself no matter what, simply because you want to. You might decide to declare, I am still lovable, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. This will send an energetic message to whomever shamed you in the first place, whether they meant to or not. Your message could be going to a parent, a school teacher, sibling, friend, lover, and anyone else that was struggling enough with their own shame wound that they couldn't help but dump it on you. You can be free to realize that the shame is just an emotion, not a truth, and you can defy any hold it has ever had on you and your ability to love yourself. This brings you guidance that you are now powerful enough to break the cycle, and it is time to stop the shame and claim yourself in love instead. So that's what I kept feeling like. It's like they're shaming you, but at the same time appreciating you for being able to heal them, right? Like, definitely I feel like you've cried many, many tears. I feel like you've cried tears over other people's situations. I feel like you cleanse yourself through your tears, but you also cleanse others through your speech. It's like, if you look at this synchronicity, what I was saying is you're a channel for source. Look at all these butterflies are coming down to you. and you're the one that's speaking it out into this world. And so it's like you are a walking embodiment of source energy, and that scares people oftentimes. And it feels like you've absolutely helped women in regards to something that has to do with children. I'm not sure what that means, but it's definitely putting it something to do with children. It could be healing their inner child, helping them overcome miscarriage pain, helping them overcome, you know, like difficulties with a child, or going to therapy or something along those lines. But you're here to help channel and guide others in that way. It's just scary because you're not giving away yourself in the process. And people aren't used to that. And especially women, they're not used to that. Women are so used to giving everything they have of themselves to a whole situation. So this is what I have for you. If you feel like this is your pile, put a little bee spirit down below and say, while life stings, I'm still on my path of purpose. Give me a thumbs up. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this rock right here or this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do women secretly think of you but won't say. Keep in mind that these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing down below, does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. You can also follow me on over to my podcast, just as a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly, and I hope to see you there. You can email me for a personal reading where I will get you out further information. Before we do get into it, I do just want to quickly say that we are connecting with someone else's perspective on you, seeing you through their rose-colored glasses. That is in no way, shape, or form the truth of who you are, so take what's being said with a grain of salt. Also have your affirmation today is I am open to receiving all the good things that life has to offer. So write that down somewhere so you can remind yourself constantly of that, because yes, you do deserve to be open to receive all the good things life has to offer for you, okay? Also, while I was shuffling to get ready for your pile, I think Drops of Jupiter's the song that came through. It's like, he walks like summer and he acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a room to change. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so like that was coming in. And also, I don't know if this is the same one. She pulls her hair back as she screams, I don't really want to be the queen. I'm not sure if that's the same song, but those are the 2 songs that were really coming in for you. Chill, excuse me. Woo! Oh my goodness. All right. So, yeah, they wanted me to tell you that. They were coming through so strongly, though, while I was shuffling. Let me get a drink of water real quick. So check out the lyrics for those songs. I think the first one's Drops of Jupiter. I'm not sure what the second one is, if that's the same song or not, but that was the lines that was coming through. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask Source, what do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile... Did I say 1? Pile 3. Pile 3, excuse me. What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say, Source? Okay, so we've got 11th house. Wow, we have all Aquarius energy right here. Uranus, 11th house, and Aquarius energy. That does not ever really happen. That is pretty incredible. In fact, I don't think I've ever had that happen with the dice. I did have that happen with Capricorn energy, though, with my astrological cards on a reading last week, which is pretty insane. Just, whoa. Whoa, okay. So, what do they think of you? You're an oddball. That's what women think of you, pile 3. They think you are an oddball. Aquarius is very, like, they're the trendsetters of the zodiac, right? They are doing things so differently. They don't like to blend in. They like to stand out. They're loud. They're proud. They're, you know, they're just really, really in a space where if it's something that everybody else is doing, I'm not going to do it. right? So women do feel like you are someone who's very friendly. They do feel like you're someone who, like, this could be internet, right? You're on the internet. You may have a platform that you use or a platform that you connect to a lot of women on. And it's something that they're actually very grateful for, it feels like here. You've used social media. You definitely bring a lot of hopes and wishes and an idea of the future into life. Like, they also, I feel like a lot of women follow you here. And so we are kind of talking about what's going on rather than how they feel. But that's what's coming through. We'll get more into how they feel here. Don't worry about that. But it's like they do feel like you're here to protect women. You're here to help raise the vibration of women. You have a lot of praise and followers and recognition from women. And so that's how women are viewing you, as someone who's seen by a lot of other women in a very high light, right? That you're very friendly. You are someone who is very progressive, innovative. You're very futuristic and intelligent. That you see things so differently and widely that you help change the status quo, right? Okay, sorry. That you are someone who is very inventive and ambitious and very quirky and funny and different. Like, very different is the energy that's coming through here. It's like you're just seen as someone who's eccentric, and you've reformed yourself in a lot of different ways. You're very unpredictable. You're not someone who anybody can really put their finger on. Even women, they can't put their finger on you. You are the embodiment of freedom, and you maybe do something with astrology or something that's like that. Like, you use astrology a lot. And that's something that they really, really like, that you're somebody who has had sudden progression, and you are someone who stands out, right? Stand out above the crowd, even if I have to shout out loud. Tonight is the only thing you'll see. Gonna stand out till you notice me. So they're definitely noticing you. Women secretly think that. They're like, oh, we see you. We see you. We notice you. We know that you're different. We like following you. We like being around you. They like being in touch with your energy. You give them permission to be their own self. Very unique. I love this energy already. Let's see if they'll tell us some more of those. So, source, what do women secretly think about pile number 3 but won't say? I am in love with the fact that you got all the Aquarius energy. So let's see if we have more Aquarius energy out. You may have Aquarius highly aspect in your chart. So that would be awesome. What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? I feel like I keep saying pile number 1 for some reason. And no, this is a lot different energy than pile number 1. But I don't know why. I think it's just because I keep seeing the 11. And I think that 11 is a very powerful number for you. And so is 1. And it's all about having faith. Right? All right, let's see. What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? Thank you. Let's come out that way. All right. What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? Okay, thank you. What do women secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say, source? Whoa. Thank you. Okay, this one, no, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, I thought it did, but it didn't. No. All right. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. They love being around you. You exude self-love. You exude a connection with source. You're very close to a higher vibrational energy, and they like being able to connect with you. It's something that helps them change their mind, but it feels new. Like, this is something that feels new. So maybe you just took this journey, or it's like recent from this year. You started doing something, changing the way that you showed up. And so women are very, very, very glad that you did, because you help them see the perspective on things when it comes to their life. They might not say this at all, but they're secretly very grateful for you. They're very much in this place of like being able to understand a lot of difficulties that they're experiencing when it comes to their mindset, because you help them find more of a loving stance on something that they would maybe in the past were very, very difficult on, like they were very judgmental of, right? Yeah, okay, so we have the Three of Swords, we have the Eight of Wands upright, and the Strength card. Okay. So we didn't get any Libra energy just yet, but that's our Libra energy. We did get Libra energy, any Aquarius energy just yet, but that's okay. We have Libra, Sag, and Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, and Leo. So they see you as someone who is a gift from God. That's a very thing. A gift from God when it comes to people's worst fears and anxieties. Like you almost give a voice to their worst fears, like things that they cannot even begin to articulate, and yet somehow you come in and you help give them a voice to that fear and help them realize that that fear doesn't have to run them anymore or control them. And so they secretly think this, but they don't say this about you because it's something that it's like just deep gratitude. They just have such a deep gratitude. You might be like, well, why don't they just say anything? Like sometimes people just have a hard time expressing gratitude. Like that's something that people have a hard time. It's like in this negative vibrational energy, around the world. It's like seeing the worst of the worst. So maybe they feel like if they express gratitude that you might leave them, And so I feel like that's why they don't say anything, but they're secretly thinking how grateful they are for you in their life. I'm so glad that pile 3 is this energy. The first 2 are kind of rough. I'm not even going to lie. The first 2 are kind of rough, but a lot of women, they just see you. And I feel like these are women that you don't know personally. I feel like these are women you just connect with online or over some form, some platform. It could be a blog. It could be like you have a website that you connect with them on. You offer some sort of service that you connect with them on. It could be that you have an Etsy shop, or you have a YouTube following, or you have a Facebook following, Instagram, what is it now called? X feed or something like that. Twitter, something along those lines. But you're connecting with a lot of women and you're helping them see the world in a much more loving light. Like you're the embodiment of the divine femme. And even though we have this Aquarian energy here, just because you do things so differently, like you might have been through a lot in your life, a lot of fears, a lot of anxieties, and you've had to heal those. With the 3 of Swords here, this is showing that you're being given help by Source, right? Source is the one that's helping you. And so they're thinking that like, wow, you really are a helper of the highest light and love. Like you're really somebody here to help in a very beautiful way. And we're so grateful to you because you've helped us see things in a different way. Like we're no longer hurt by the things that once hurt us, right? We're no longer anxious because of the things that were making us afraid. We see that we have our own strength and that we too can overcome this. Is interesting because I kept saying pile 1, but see, this is why I kept getting 11, and my strength card is the number 11. That was the original lineup for the tarot before the Rider-Waite-Smith changed it to number 8. And the only reason they changed the strength card to number 8 was so that it fell in line with the zodiac wheel, which is interesting because didn't I say something about astrology? And then why are they having me tell you this on this? It's because, again, this idea of astrology. And so you might notice when I do my decks that the strength and the justice card are flip-flopped, where justice is 8 instead of 11 and strength is 11 instead of 8. And the reason being is because this is the original setup for tarot, and that they changed it later on and they flipped them to where strength became number 8 so that it followed some sort of linear line for the zodiac wheel. Okay, but that's what's going on here. It's like 1111 is this very spiritual number, this very, you're coming into an awakened state, you're helping others to awaken, and you're doing it in the masses. It feels like the masses. I mean, the masses to you could be 10 people. Okay, so don't be like, well, I'm only reaching a few people. Like, whoa, hold on, Becky, like what's going on? No, but when they're saying that, like, you're reaching many people, like you're actually touching quite a few people, and you're really impacting them in a very unique way. So let's get some clarifiers out here. Whoa, that was quick. Thank you, Source. And I please have some more clarifiers for this reading. Thank you. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we have this is the Popess with the 2 of coins here. Yeah, you're a very balanced energy. Like you see both the good and the bad, and you're willing to talk about that. you do it from a very informed, intuitive state, a very wise state. It's almost like you're able to show people, like, if you continue down this road that you're on, this is what you're going to experience, versus if you choose to change, this is what you're going to experience. And it's like they can, when you paint the picture for them, wow, excuse me, they see it so clearly. They're like, oh, I get that. Like, I understand that. Like, why have I never gotten that before? Like, why have I never understood that before? And it's like, oh, I see that now. Yeah, like we have the Three of Swords again in the upright. So, yeah, this is something that Source is like shed a light on you, saying this is who you're meant to be. In the train confirmation there. Yeah, it's like Source is helping you with this, right? You're very connected here to Source. And my Three of Swords does not talk about a broken heart like it does in the Rider-Waite-Smith. My Three of Swords is a very divine card. It's connected to Source, Source intervention. When it's in the reverse, it's talking about being set back on the journey, on the spiritual journey, because of our mindset. Right? What do we have coming under that? Yeah, the Ten of Coins. Is this something you do for work or something you do for money? This could even be a side hustle. You could be offering oils, you could be offering massage, you could be offering anything, but you're impacting people at a very soul level. And it's like you give it in such a way that people are like, oh, like it's like the light bulb goes on. Ding! Oh, I get it now. Oh, wow. Like I've been struggling with that my whole life, but pile 3 came in and gave me just one sentence and made it perfectly clear for me. That's amazing. Like, wow. I love your energy, pile 3. I really do. Yeah, so we have the 7 of Clubs here. Look at this image. It's like you're sharing your wisdom, right? You're teaching others how to not let their emotions be in control of everything for them. How do I take action and overcome the hardships that I've been through? How do I take action and overcome what's been so difficult for me? So this feels like people you don't know. Like I feel like these are strangers that you're impacting in a very unique way. Look, we have the 10 of Hearts with the Wheel of Fortune here. Yeah, you bring a lot of fortune into people's lives. You bring a lot of happiness, a lot of freedom. They feel free when they're around you, when they're learning from you. It's like you help bring them that connection to Source in a very beautiful way. It's like you remind them of what it is to be their divine self. And they really like that. So again, this idea of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. We have 5 ones here. It's a very, very resonant number, right? And so it's like looking at somebody who is the embodiment of faith, who's the embodiment of walking the walk and talking the talk. Like you don't just expect people to do it. You show them. Like you have your experiences and you show them how to do what they can, like how, okay, I'm getting too excited here. Okay, calm down, right? You act like summer and you walk like rain. Remind me that there's a time to change, right? Like that's so profound. You act like summer. Your warmth and your beauty, and you bring in light to the room, and you help them see that warmth in the cold times. You walk like rain, like. You walk through the hardships and the rain, like the tears and the pain, and it's like you walk through it. But you walk like that. You walk like you've carried pain. You talk like you've carried pain. And you remind people that just because you've been through difficult situations, that they can change too. And that's what women secretly think of you, but they won't say. It's like, this is someone I can follow because I can relate to them on such a beautiful level. Yeah, like we have 1010. This is your path of purpose, first and foremost. So they do secretly think this is what you've been meant to do all the time. But look at this image again. It's like you've carried burdens, you've carried hardships. And the 10 of Wands in my deck doesn't talk about burdens. It does when it's in the reverse. But when it's in the upright, we're talking about friendships that can last for a lifetime, that have gone through hell and back again. So it's like you went through into the flames and you were reborn from the flames, out of the ash. You rose a phoenix, and all of that taught them that they too can carry their life in their own hands. They can live from their heart space despite the hardships that they've come through. And that's what women are secretly thinking of you. It's like, if pile 3 can do it, then I can do it too. Pile 3 gives me hope. They give me faith. They give me clarity. They give me excitement to be alive, to be on this journey, even though it is difficult, even though I have tons of fears and anxieties. Like when I show up and I see pile 3, that's my peeps, man. That's my peeps right there. I love this. I love this. Oh, what a beautiful energy. Let's get some oracles out on it for you, pile 3. Okay, so Source, can we please have some oracles here for pile number 3? Whoa, that came flying out. Did you see that? Okay, wow. Okay, thank you. So we have a combination of tension and flow, potential and a rewarding situation. Yeah, it's like your hardships have taught them how to reward themselves, right? Like it's interesting because it's like you going through these difficulties give them hope that they too can go through their difficulties. And it's like, why do I keep saying something? It's because this is how important you are to them. It's like, this is something they think about all the time. Like, oh my gosh, pile 3, they just, like, you keep painting the pictures. Like, you never stop painting the difficulties in a beautiful way. Look, we have the North Node, destined to have. Yeah, you are absolutely following your path of purpose. Absolutely. You are following your path of purpose. Look, we have Yang energy, proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius energy. Yeah, you are doing it. You are living the journey. You're living, breathing embodiment of the journey. Pile 3. Let's get some more oracles on it. So, Source, can you please have some more oracle cards here? Wow, thank you. I cannot. I didn't want to scream, but I really want to right now. Oh, my Jeebus, pile 3. Oh, my Jeebus. Okay, look at what flew out. We have 36 with shark and purpose. Purpose. What did I just say? You're on your path of purpose. You're doing it with the North Node. Oh my. Oh my. Let's put that there. Like, I cannot with you, pile 3. Oh. We have secrets on the bottom. Yeah, I feel like you don't tell a lot of people that you know personally about what you're doing. I feel like you have a lot of secrets to the people who know you personally, but these are people who don't know you personally. And so these things that you've experienced, you share, and it helps heal them in a beautiful way. Like, whoa. Wow, that's incredible. Let's get some more on it, Source. Can I please have some more oracle cards? What else would you like to say? What do women secretly think of pile 3 but won't say? Whoa, your cards are like flying. Yeah, communion, eagle. You're in communication with Source and all things Source, right? You could get a lot of inspiration from animals, from birds, from nature in general, but you are in touch with Source. Like, you just know. You know what's going on. Like, your intuition is on point, right? We had that over here. We had that with these cards. Source is shining a light on you, making you a testimony. That's what I feel like. You're becoming a testimony. It's like Source is like, you're my testimony. You're my warrior. You're my everything. You've done everything I've asked you, and you've shown up, and you still keep doing it. Even when times got tough, like, you still keep doing it. So let me turn you into a testimony. You're unfolding. Yeah, with the light is shining on you again, right? Like, there's something about it. Like, you act like summer, and you walk like rain, right? I believe that's how it goes. But anyways, even if it's not, that's what they want me to say. So it's like this beautiful energy. It's like you're doing it. And then when we have the sun energy, we're connecting with our Manipura chakra, which is our solar plexus chakra, right? Which is our power of will, our ability to create fire in our life, which is so interesting that I was saying that you like went through the fire and you rose like a phoenix from the ashes, right? And we have lion spirit here, 10 again with 37. Be generous of spirit. That's exactly what you are. Like, you share your light. You're sharing your spirit with others. You're sharing Source with others, which is your spirit. Oh my gosh, I just love you, pile 3. I just love you. What a beautiful energy. You're so perfect and unique. I just hope you understand how perfect and unique you are. And if you don't, just hear me when I say you are perfect and unique. I mean, everybody that watches this channel is, absolutely, but I just feel like sometimes you don't know exactly how beautiful you are. Like sometimes it's like, this is just what I do. Like, you know, and it's just so natural to you. You don't even have to think twice about it, but it's like just reminding yourself always that you are truly beautiful and unique, wonderful, perfect person. This came out in another pile. We have Opal. Your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So this is giving me that energy of being connected with Source through your children, if you have children. If not, this is being connected through Source, through maybe your star children. Maybe you have children in heaven that you're going to have or haven't had. And that's what's helping connect you. Also, this is you healing your inner child. Very profound message. Very profound. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. We have Cancer energy, nurture, comfort, and protection. Yeah, so you're very protected. You're a very nurturing, loving person. Like you're just very direct with people. I feel like you're very direct. That Aquarian energy is very direct, and they don't beat around the bush, but you're not mean about it. Like you're like this is the way it is, you know, like we need to look at things this way, and when you look at things this way it helps, and they're like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. So we have number 51, Sandpiper Spirit, be playful. So again, that idea of connecting with the inner child. So you may bring your inner child into this all the time, like just being fun and goofy and having a good time, and that's something that is really, really helpful for others too, because they see like you not being so serious helps them to not be so serious about it all the time. We have number 60 with Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. Yeah, like you're helping others dive deep, right? You could also be calling in a soulmate. This is another message. I know that has nothing to do with this reading, but that all of a sudden I just got that so loud here, especially with the swan. Like you could be calling in a soulmate. So you could be a man on here looking for a woman, or, you know, it doesn't matter, whatever you identify with. I should really even, it's not about whether you're interested in men or women. It's just saying that you could be calling in a soulmate that's a divine feminine type energy here, or divine masculine if you're divine feminine. So whatever it is, you're just calling in this beautiful connection here, or this could be a soul tribe connection, I do feel like, but it does feel like some sort of connection. But time for a deep dive, it's like that's how you help people. And then you have the shark here. So it's like in the water, it's all about the emotions. With the Cancer energy, it's all about the emotions. Like you might seem like you're quirky and detached, but in truth, you're a very emotional, deep person. And it's like when people spend any amount of time with you, they get to experience that. So we have Desiree. No, conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait and look into other options and ask the angels to help, guide, and comfort you. So this sounds weird coming out on this reading, but I feel like you're the answer to people's prayers. Like when people are like trying to figure out what to do, you're the person that comes in and answers their prayers. And that's how women see you. They secretly see you as you're an answer to our prayers. Why do I hear that song right now? Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Right? Is that Garth Brooks? Yeah. So it's like they've had so many unanswered prayers, and then here you come into their life, and it's like, oh, finally an answered prayer, right? Like you help comfort them for their unanswered prayers. Like that's a beautiful energy. And then we have Ariel coming out with new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, power, and meditation. This came out in another pile. So right now you have women who see you as someone who's a psychic leader, a very spiritual leader, okay? You're seen as a spiritual leader in your community or on your platform or whatever it is you choose to connect with women. You're seen as a spiritual leader for them, okay? So we are going to check out your card here. I'm going to read this from the book, and we'll see what this says. The Sacred Rebels. No! That is so trippy. Okay, I have to say this on your pile, okay? Because I mentioned it on pile 2. I got 43 on 1, and I got 42 on 2. and I have 41 now on pile 3. So this entire reading has been so synchronistic, it is off the charts. But I have to mention that pile 1 has no idea unless you wrote it out and watched all 3 readings, which some of you do, and I appreciate you so much. If you watch a lot of my readings from start to finish, leave me a purple heart down below and say, I last the whole time. That sounds so terrible. Say, I stuck it out. There we go. I stuck it out, so I see you. Okay, I just appreciate some of you so much because I know you watch me from start to finish, but I just feel like this is so synchronistic. No, you do not, nor are you required to go and check out the other 2 readings by any means, but I have to say that we have 41, 42, and 43 coming out on these readings, and if you watch the shuffle, you know, like I shuffled the cards 100 times before I even start. Like, that is so intense. So intense. So we have bringing into form. You're walking the walk. Didn't I say that? You're walking the walk. What? That is so... I cannot. I just... Whoa. Source is a whole nother level. And we've got all Aquarius energy on your reading. Like, when Source is saying, I'm being present with you. Okay? It says, beautiful dreamer. You can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it is time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live, to manifest. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer. Work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream, create. You're being asked to honor yourself with a commitment to complete your inspired tasks. This will help you grow, and this is a wonderful reason to commit. But there's another reason too, you know? Your inspired ideas are worth translating into practical form so that other people can access them and experience something special too. If you've been thinking about writing a book, painting a picture, acting on an inspiration or idea, this oracle is bringing you an unequivocal yes. Do it now. Isn't that interesting? We got no and yes in this reading. Don't dally or dither about the details or worry about how it is all going to work out. The universe loves a bold spirit, and once you take a step, it will rush towards you like an enthusiastic and chivalrous lover, opening doors, holding hand gently guiding at your lower back as you are moved forward. You will promptly be provided with all that is needed to take the next step. There is sacrifice inherent in translating the perfection of an idea into a limited physical form, although something may be lost when turning a multi-dimensional concept of endless potential into something concrete. This oracle guides you to realize that there's much more to be gained. You must become free of this inspiration so that you can receive your next inspiration. It is already waiting for you, so on you must go. This confirms that the information you need to translate your ideas into form will be provided accordingly to the higher wisdom of life. It may or may not happen by traditional routes, even if it seems unimaginable. When it is time for something to be born into form, nothing can stop it. It will happen. So amazing. So you're absolutely manifesting what it is that you wanted to. And if you've been given an inspiration, they're saying, yes, go ahead towards that next inspiration. But more than anything, what I feel like this has to say in regards to your reading is saying that you help inspire women in such a beautiful way. And that's what they secretly think, but they're not saying right now. Don't take it so, to heart. Just know that you're really helping out women here. And so we have a lot of energy coming through on especially on your reading. Also, they want me to say that check out my podcast, okay? Because I was talking about multi-dimensions in this last podcast that I posted. It will be on October 2nd, okay, is the podcast. Check out October 2nd's podcast because I talk about multi-dimensional and being in that multidimensional energy and what that means to us and how it means to see that and how they form and they mold together and how sometimes they'll absorb each other. And so definitely check that out. That might have some other messages in there for you as well, if you feel drawn to that. Okay, I do feel like 666 is a powerful number for you, showing how balanced you are in the journey, and also 1111 just showing that you're a very spiritual being here. Okay, this is you being in your north node, destined to have. So women are very grateful to have you in your life. That's what they're secretly thinking, but they're not saying right now. Just don't, just keep doing you, boo, because you're creating impact. Okay, you're definitely creating impact. So if you feel like this is your reading, leave any kind of bird down below, because you got eagle, swan, and sandpiper. So leave any kind of bird down below in the comments and say, I'm flying to my destiny, right? Because you are. Leave me a thumbs up down below, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message, Pile 3. And until next time, stay human. Bye.